It was good to be back home in front of a home crowd, in front of family. Thought the guys came out and played well. We found a way to get a win. Wasn't the prettiest game we've played. Had some mistakes we got to clean up. I thought Southern Illinois did a really good job, especially in the second half, making some adjustments and kind of attacking us in some ways that we weren't quite ready for. But to be able to play and get a win with a bunch of guys not playing, had a handful of guys not able to play, and get to 2-2 in non-conference before heading into conference play was big for us. And hopefully we'll get some of these guys back and get a little bit more full strength moving forward before we head into Troy, who looks to be a really, really good team and have been for quite a while. So, but all in all, man, it was a great weekend and great crowd. Appreciate everybody coming out and supporting us and kind of welcoming me back to our home stadium.
Thank you, Coach. Our first question comes from Matt with the Jonesboro Sun. Please go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach. Just curious, do you have an update on the quarterback, Logan Bonner, and his wrist injury?
It's not wrist, it's thumb. He's been dealing with it for several weeks. He hurt it in the SMU game. He's actually banged it on the helmet. Seems like almost every week. So he's pretty sore. We're gonna kind of keep an eye on it and see how he's doing. But it's not a new injury. It's something that's been going on for a while, and he's obviously playing through it and playing at a really high level. So we'll see how he responds. But it's not a wrist. It's a thumb.
Oh, okay. Is there no indication that he might miss any time or anything like that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. He, like I said, he's been dealing with it every week. He played through. I mean, he got it hit again this game and played through it and threw the ball really well. It's just kind of been for us. It's been a daily managing deal, seeing how the pain was, how the swelling was, but it's been an ongoing problem, and he's throwing the ball better than anybody in the country. Dealing with it, he's just tough, and he's one of those guys that fights through it.
Okay. Did you lose anybody else in this? Did you lose anybody in this game in particular? Kevin Thurman or Ryan Graham?
It sounds like you already know the answer to those questions to me, Matt. Kevin Thurman is going to have a procedure done on his hand and will be out for a couple of weeks. He broke some bones in his hand. And Ryan Graham is out for the season. He'll have ACL surgery later this week or early next week. So we did lose some guys. Both of those guys are playing at a really high level. Ryan will be out for the year, whereas Kevin could be back as early as a couple weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, just depending on how his hand heals and how the surgery goes.
Okay. Was this a pretty physical game? I mean,
it was. It was. I mean, I thought I think they play a physical brand of ball on offense with the Wildcat and the power stuff that they run, and it's just kind of how. And I don't know, man. Last week was extremely physical. We're just fortunate to only get out of it with one injury with Jerry. So I don't think it necessarily has to do with the game itself. It's a game that you go out and guy gets himself in a bind and an injury occurs. It's just kind of how it goes.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
All right, thank you, Matt. Our next questions come from Luke Matheson with Red Wolf Report. Please go ahead, Luke.
Well, now that we know who you're not going to have, are you getting any guys back this week? Marcel's looking better. He's kind of still day to day. He went out and tested it the first snap and just didn't feel great. Dahu same way, probably was ready, but still, that knee injury has been lingering on, and think we'll get him back. And we should get Jacob Steele back. We've managed as many guys as we could. Medley should be back defensively and get us a little bit closer to full strength. And let's talk about Troy, just what, the challenges they're going to present you this week.
Well, they're a good football team. We've seen them enough, and everybody knows. And with Neil leaving, Lindsey comes in, and he knows the program and knows the area and knows what he's got. And they got one of the best quarterbacks in the league, if not in the country, and can spin it and is throwing the ball all over the place. So you got to protect every area on the field. Defensively, they run well. I mean, it's always a great environment. It's always a great game. We obviously would love to have come out on top the last time we saw them here at home and won another title, but this has become a very good competitive rivalry because we're both in the mix and the top of the league every year.
if something happened with Logan and he couldn't go or got banged up in the game, couldn't go, do you know who you would go with at that point?
We've talked about it. It's kind of been a work in progress. I think it kind of depended on whether or not it was just getting out of a game or whether it was a weekly preparation type deal. But I'll let Heck answer those more, in more detail.